You are 38. You have $487,000. Your friend earns the same salary. He has $20,000. The difference is not your job. The difference is not luck. The difference is one decision you made 20 years ago and the 20 years of being laughed at for it. This is your life, living with your parents for 20 years. You are 18. It's a Saturday in July. You are at your friend Sam's house. He is wearing tight jeans and a polo shirt with the collar flipped up. He calls you dog. He brings you a cup of water, sits down next to you, and asks where you're dorming. You decided to stay home for college since it's close to the school, and you tell him exactly that. He snickers. He goes to his phone and texts the group chat that you aren't moving with them. The group chat explodes. Emojis, laughter, a baby bottle, a meme of a man being tucked into bed by his mom. One friend, Billy, says it's okay. You cheer up a little. You drive home in your dad's used 2011 Toyota Corolla. You reach for the radio before you remember it's been broken for 2 years. You roll down the windows instead. That night, you sit at the kitchen table. You do the math on a piece of paper. $8,000 a year. $700 a month. Invested for 20 years. The number is so large you read it twice, blinking. You fold the paper, shove it in a drawer, and forget about it. The next day, more messages. Mama's boy. You go to your mom, hoping she has the money for school housing. She doesn't. You don't blame her. You see, for the first time, the ceiling she has been holding up your whole life with 2 hands. You go back to your room. The same room. The same glow-in-the-dark stars on the ceiling from when you were 9. You lie down. Your phone buzzes. The group chat is still going. Billy texts you privately. Ignore them, man. It's smart. You write back, yeah. You do not feel smart. You feel small. But you open the drawer again. You take out the paper. You read the number 1 more time. You don't understand compounding yet, not really. You just know the number is bigger than a house. You put it back. You do not know it yet, but this is the cheapest the decision will ever feel. The mockery is loud now. The math is quiet. In 20 years, they will trade places. The house is still the house. You are 20. It's a Wednesday in October 2008. The world is on fire and the news won't stop saying so. Words you've never heard before are on every channel. Subprime, foreclosure, Lehman. Your dad watches the TV at night with his jaw set, doing math you can't see. You're a sophomore. You commute. You eat breakfast across from your mother every morning. You pay for gas and your phone bill and nothing else, and you put the rest, every dollar of it, into the account you don't tell anyone about. The group chat goes quiet that fall. Then it goes strange. The kid who got the apartment with the granite counters loses his part-time job and can't make rent. His roommates can't cover him. By Christmas, the whole place dissolves. He posts a photo, half a joke, of his childhood bedroom with the caption, "Back home for a bit Lowell." 40 likes. Nobody says mama's boy now. Nobody says anything. One by one, they come back. The ones who got free. They move into their parents' basements with their tails down, except now they're carrying a security deposit they never got back and 3 months of debt. They moved out to prove something and moved home with less than they left with. You didn't move anywhere. You're in the same room with the same stars on the ceiling. But you have $11,000 in an account, and a roof, and a mother who packs you a lunch, and for the first time you understand that the safest place to stand during an earthquake is the ground you never left. Sam doesn't come home. Sam doubles down. Sam keeps the apartment, takes a second job, posts about the grind. You admire it, a little. You also notice his eyes when he thinks no one's looking. That night, you open the drawer. You take out the paper. You don't add a number yet. You just look at the projection you wrote at 18, the one that made you blink, and for the first time it doesn't feel like a fantasy. It feels like a map. You do not know it yet, but the whole world just proved your point, and not one person in your life connected it to you. The house is still the house. You are 22. It's a Thursday in September, 2010. You graduated in May. You have a job now, entry level, badge on a lanyard, $41,000 a year. You still drive your dad's Corolla. The radio still doesn't work. Your phone is full of photos now. Everyone has Facebook. Everyone is posting their first apartments. IKEA shelves built crooked. A futon. A single sad plant on a windowsill with the caption, "Adulting." Sam posts 40 pictures of an apartment with 2 roommates and a couch they found on the curb. $1,100 a month, split 3 ways. The comments are full of fire emojis. Welcome to the real world. Finally free. You comment, "Nice place. Sam likes it. Nobody asks where you live. Everybody already knows." You go to a barbecue at your parents' house that weekend. Your dad's friend Dale is there. Dale has been selling mortgages for 30 years. Dale watched 2008 happen from the inside. Dale watched it eat people he knew. He does not give advice unless you sit next to him. You sit next to him. You tell Dale you feel like you're falling behind. Everyone has their own place. You're still in your childhood bedroom. Dale chews. Dale swallows. Dale says, "Do you know what most people are actually buying when they move out?" You say, "A place to live." Dale shakes his head. Dale says, "No, most people don't move out. They buy distance. Distance to feel grown. Distance to be seen as a man. Distance from the one house that would have asked them who they really are. They'll pay $1,300 a month for that feeling and call it freedom." You stop eating. Dale points his fork at you. He says, "You know how many of those kids who finally got free I watched lose everything? I signed the loans. I knew their names. They bought the feeling. The feeling came with a balloon payment." He wipes his mouth. He says, "Staying is the first time you didn't buy the feeling." You laugh. Dale doesn't. You drive home in the Corolla, even though you're already home. You sit in the driveway for a minute. You don't know why. That night, you open the drawer. The paper is still there. You add a real number for the first time, not a projection. Your savings account says $34,000. You read it twice. You put the paper back. You do not know it yet, but Dale just planted something that is going to grow for the next 16 years. The house is still the house. You are 25. It's a Tuesday in March, 2013. The Corolla has 140,000 miles. You finally fix the radio for $60. The first song that plays is one from high school. You sit in the parking lot at work until it ends. Everyone has Instagram now. The world has changed. People don't just live in apartments anymore. They photograph them. Morning light on hardwood. A latte next to a laptop. A door with their own name on a piece of tape over the buzzer. Adulting. Treat yourself. You only live once. You scroll through it on your lunch break, eating a sandwich your mom packed without asking. At Thanksgiving, your aunt corners you by the dessert table. She is 58. She means well. She says, "So, any plans to get your own place soon?" You say, "I'm saving." She says, "Saving's good, but you don't want to be the man who never left, honey." She pats your hand. She moves on. You stand there holding a paper plate of pie. That weekend, Sam posts a new apartment. A real one this time. Downtown, exposed brick, a skyline view, solo. $1,650 a month. The caption says, "Earned this." There are 200 likes. You drive over to see it. Sam walks you around it the way men walk around things they are still afraid of. He shows you the view. His phone buzzes on the counter. A red number on a banking app. He flips the phone face down without looking at you. You don't ask. You go on a date that month. Her name is Dana. Dinner goes well. It goes really well. She laughs at the thing you weren't sure was funny. Then, near the end, over the check you insist on taking, she asks, So, do you live alone? You say, I live with my parents. Something in her face closes a door so gently you almost don't hear it click. She says, oh, that's responsible. She says it the way people say interesting about a meal they won't finish. She does not text back. You tell yourself you didn't like her that much. You lie pretty well by now. You've had practice. You start leaving things out on dates after that. You learn the careful sentences. I've got a place near my folks. I'm in between leases, saving for something bigger. None of it's true. All of it buys you another hour of being looked at like a whole man. You hate that you've learned it. You keep doing it anyway. You drive home. You sit in the kitchen. Your dad is asleep in his chair, the TV on low. You open the drawer. The number is $96,000. You stare at it. It is more than twice your salary. You don't feel rich. You feel like you're keeping a secret you're not allowed to be proud of. You do not know it yet, but the silence around your savings hurts more than the mockery ever did. The house is still the house. You are 28. It's a Saturday in June 2016. The Corolla has 171,000 miles. The driver's window only goes halfway down now. You've stopped trying for the rest. You've been dating Nina for a year. Nina is a teacher. Nina has never once said a word about where you live. You love her partly for the things she chooses not to say. It's wedding season. Every weekend, somebody from the group chat is getting married. You and Nina drive to one in the Corolla, her dress folded across her lap so it doesn't catch the door. The parking lot is full of leased SUVs and one valet stand. At the reception, the table conversation turns, the way it always does now, to real estate. Who just bought? Who's house poor? Who's still renting? Somebody says, did you guys see that article? Millennials can't afford homes because of avocado toast. Everyone laughs, the laugh people laugh when something isn't funny. A woman across the table asks you and Nina, so when are you two getting your own place? Nina looks at you. She doesn't mean anything by it. That's what makes it land. You say, soon. That night, you almost break. You sit on the edge of your old bed at 1 a.m. with your phone. An apartment listing. 2 bedrooms, a balcony, a real kitchen. $1,900 a month. You imagine Nina there. You imagine a door with both your names on it. Your thumb hovers over the inquiry button. You think about the woman at the wedding. You think about Dana, 3 years gone. You think about Sam's phone, face down on the counter. You think about Dale and his fork. You close the app. The next morning, your mom finds you at the table. She sits down. She says, your father and I were talking. We can help you with a deposit, for a place of your own, with Nina even. You look at her. You say, I'm okay, Mom. She says, it's okay to want your own life. You say, I'm building it. You just can't see it yet. She doesn't understand. She hugs you anyway. You open the drawer that night. The number is $170,000. You leave the paper on the counter instead of putting it back. You're not sure why. A text comes in from Nina. It says, I'm not in a rush. I just want you to be happy. We have time. You read it 4 times. You do not know it yet. But this was the closest you ever came to spending it all just to feel normal. The house is still the house. You're 31. It's a Friday in August, 2019. The Corolla has 198,000 miles. You and Nina are engaged. She moved in. Yes, into your parents' house, into the room with the stars on the ceiling, and she laughed and said she loved them. Your parents adore her. The 4 of you eat dinner together most nights. You are paying off the wedding in cash. You go to get a haircut you've been getting for 9 years. The barber's name is Tony. Tony is 61. Tony talks the whole time the way good barbers do. He asks where you live. You tell him, a little embarrassed, that you still live with your parents, saving up, fiancé and all. Tony stops cutting. Tony looks at you in the mirror. Tony says, "How long?" You say, 13 years. Tony puts the scissors down. He turns your chair around so you're facing him. He says, "I lived with my mother until I was 35. Everybody in my neighborhood laughed at me, my own cousins. Tony the mama's boy. You know what I did with the rent I never paid?" He holds up 3 fingers. 3 houses. I rent 2 of them out. The third one my mother died in, comfortable because I could afford the nurse. His eyes are wet. He says, "They were laughing me straight into money. They thought I was scared to leave. I wasn't scared. I was free." You don't say anything. He turns your chair back to the mirror. He finishes the cut in silence. At the end, he won't take your money. He says, "Keep going, kid. Don't you dare stop." You sit in the Corolla in the parking lot for a full minute before you turn the key. Something moved. You don't know exactly what. That night, you finally do the thing you've been afraid to do for 13 years. You take everything to a financial planner, a real one, an office with a plant and a water cooler and a man who shakes your hand too firmly. He's 40. He asks what you're hoping to do today, half bored, expecting a kid with a credit card problem. You hand him the printout. He opens your accounts. He goes quiet. He scrolls. He scrolls again, slower. He takes off his glasses. He looks up at you and says, "Can I ask you something personal? What do you do for a living?" You tell him. He says, "And you have this, on that." He turns the monitor toward you like he wants you to confirm it's real. He says, "Do you understand what you're sitting on? I have clients who out-earn you 3 to 1 and have a negative number. You don't have a budget problem, you have a runway." He leans back. He says, "Most people spend their 30s digging out. You get to spend yours deciding. That's the rarest thing I see in this chair, and you have no idea you're holding it." You walk out into the parking lot and sit in the Corolla and don't turn the key. 13 years of swallowing it, of careful sentences on dates, of pie eaten standing up by the dessert table, and a stranger just looked at a screen and called it a runway. You don't cry. You come close. You open the drawer that night. The number is $255,000. You read it once. You don't need to read it twice anymore. You do not know it yet, but the doubt has started to die. The house is still the house. You are 34. It's a Tuesday in November, 2022. The Corolla finally gave out last spring at 214,000 miles. You replaced it with a used 2019 Camry, paid in cash, and didn't post about it. The world broke and put itself back together strangely while you weren't looking. There was a year everyone stayed inside. You spent it in a full house, your parents in the next room, Nina at the kitchen table grading papers, all of you cooking together, scared together, but together. Half the group chat spent that year alone in apartments they were paying full rent on, talking to nobody. Billy called you that winter just to hear a voice. He told you he hadn't said a sentence out loud in 4 days. Then the housing market went insane. Prices jumped 40%. Rent went up $300 a month in a single year. The same downtown apartments from Instagram now cost a fortune. Sam's loft rent went up. Sam's car payment didn't go away. Sam got a watch. Sam got a girlfriend with expensive taste. Sam's posts got shinier and quieter at the same time. In the middle of all of it, your dad clutched his arm at dinner and went gray. You drove him to the hospital in the Camry, ran 2 red lights, held his hand in the waiting room while your mother prayed in a chair. He's okay. A stent, a scare. But you were there. You were home. You were the one who got him there in 9 minutes because you never left. The nurse asked who drove him in. Your mother pointed at you and said, "Our son. He lives with us." She said it as if it were the proudest sentence she knew. 20 years of that word in other people's mouths had a hook in it. In hers, that night, it sounded like the reason he was alive. You sat in the hospital parking lot afterward and understood something for the first time in 16 years. The money was never the whole point. You bought the money, yes, but you also bought 16 years of dinners. You bought the sound of your parents in the next room. You bought being there at 6 a.m. with car keys when it counted. You bought time with two people who will not be here forever. Time the others traded away for a door with their name on it and a feeling that wore off in a month. That weekend, Sam called. Sam asked if he could borrow $3,000 just until next month. You said yes. You didn't ask what for. You already knew. You open the drawer. The number is $352,000. You don't put the paper back. You leave it out for good. You realize finally, sitting in your childhood bedroom at 34, that you were never behind. You were never behind. You were just early, and nobody can tell the difference until the end. The house is still the house. You are 38. You have $487,000. It's a Thursday in April 2026. You and Nina are standing in an empty house. Your house. 3 bedrooms, a yard, good light in the kitchen. The realtor is talking, but you're not listening. You bought it, not financed to the throat. Bought it the way Tony bought his, the way you were always going to. A check that didn't shake the rest of your life loose. You still have a runway after. You have options. You have the one thing none of them have. The ability to walk away from anything that doesn't deserve you. That afternoon, Dale calls. Dale is 71 now, retired. He says, "Your father told me you bought a house, cash." You ask how he always knows. He laughs. He says, "Do you remember what I told you at that barbecue when you were 22? You say, every word." Dale says, "Most people don't move out. They buy distance." He's quiet a second. He says, "You were the only kid I ever said that to who actually listened. 20 years. You know what you did, son? You didn't save rent. You bought options. You bought yourself." You wipe your eye. He hangs up. There's one more thing you do that week. You sit your parents down at their kitchen table, the same table where you did the math 20 years ago. You slide an envelope across it. Inside is a check that pays off the rest of their mortgage. The house that held you up your whole life, paid for, free and clear, by the kid they thought they were carrying. Your dad looks at the number. Your dad, who never cries, puts his hand over his mouth. Your mom says, "We were supposed to take care of you." You say you did, for 38 years. Now it's my turn. Nobody can eat the dessert after that. That night, your phone buzzes. A text from Sam. It says, "Hey, can we talk? I think I'm in trouble." You read it twice. You text back. You say, "Come over, new place, I'll send the address." Sam comes over at 9. Sam is 38 and looks 50. He sits on your new couch in your new living room and looks at it like a man looking at a country he was never let into. He says, "I owe about 90 grand. Rent went up, the car, the cards, the wedding, the divorce. I make what you make. I've made what you make for 15 years, and I have nothing." He puts his face in his hands. He says, "Everybody used to feel sorry for you, you know that? We actually felt sorry for you." He laughs, and it cracks in the middle. "How? Just tell me how. Be honest. Don't give me a number. Tell me the real thing." You think about Dale's fork. You think about Tony's 3 fingers in the mirror. You think about the kid posting his childhood bedroom with LOL. You think about your dad's hand over his mouth. You say, "I stopped buying distance. Everybody around us spent 20 years paying every month to look like an adult. I spent 20 years quietly being one in a room nobody respected. That's the whole secret. I just stayed long enough for the math to catch up to the mockery." Sam doesn't understand. Not really. Not yet. But he nods. And you make him coffee. And for the first time in 20 years, he's the one sitting in the smaller chair. You don't enjoy it. You're surprised by how much you don't enjoy it. You drive him home. He still rents. You park outside his building and watch him go in. Then you drive back to your own house, the one nobody can take, and you sit in the driveway for 1 minute the way you've done your whole life. You think about all of them. Sam, Dana, the aunt by the dessert table, the woman at the wedding, the group chat with the baby bottle emoji, Billy alone in his apartment, Tony, Dale, your mother holding up the ceiling with 2 hands. They all saw a kid who never left home. You saw the question. The question was never, when are you going to move out? The question was, who are you when nobody's watching, and nobody's clapping, and everybody's laughing? You answered it for 20 years, one quiet Tuesday at a time. Maybe you're the person who stayed and let the math catch up. Maybe you're the one lying awake right now, secretly wondering if you left too soon for the wrong reasons, to impress the wrong people. Maybe you're Sam. Either way, there's a question waiting at your kitchen table. Whether you answer it or keep paying someone else to never ask it is up to you. If you want to see what your life looks like when you stop buying distance entirely, stay.